Let's pretend we went to a race. It's a 100-yard dash. They shoot the gun, the guys run, the guy comes in first place, 9.2 seconds. Whoa! Guy comes in last place, 30 seconds. Oops, okay, you're impressed, obviously, with the person who did 9.2 seconds. Must be a record. What about the guy who did it in 30 seconds? So, if you're in a charitable mood, you'll be like, yeah, good effort, good effort. What if the guy's from a town you don't like? He's a bump. Slowpoke. All right, now what if I told you the guy who came in last place, he couldn't walk until he was 14 years old. If at 14 he got out of the wheelchair, he propped himself up, and he was able to stand and ultimately move with crutches and different devices. And he said to himself, you know what? I'm not stopping until I can walk independently. And he pushed himself, and he did exercises and physical therapy, and he killed himself, and 3 years later he's walking independently. And at that point he said, you know what? It's not enough that I can just walk. I'm going to learn to run. And I'm not just going to run. I'm going to run in a race. And he pushed himself, and he killed himself, and he labored, and he struggled, and he exercised, and he worked. And 3 years later, he's running in a race, and that's the race you saw. Oh, now who are you impressed with? Obviously, the guy who came in last place. Oh, he lost? So what? Think of the story, the struggle, the effort, what he put into it. Oh, that's what blows you away. You see, we live in a world where we define success by the external results. We look at the one who won. We look at the tallest, the fastest, the richest, the smartest, the biggest. But intuitively, that's not the way we define success. Intuitively, we know that the successful person is the one who works the hardest. That's why you relate to the guy who lost, because of the struggle and the effort. And this is the Jewish definition of success as well. There's an expression in the Talmud. It says, Lefum Sara Agra. The reward is the result of the effort you put in. The successful person is the one who struggles the hardest. And this intuitively makes sense. How come? Because you control how hard you work. You know if you're trying hard enough. You know if you're working hard enough. You know if you're making the effort. And that's what you could base your self-esteem on. That's what you could feel good about. That's a success, how hard you worked. Why can't you base your success on external things? Because there's always going to be somebody faster. There'll always be somebody smarter. There's always going to be somebody better looking. Well, unless, of course, you're me. But anyways, you hear the point. The point is make the effort. Try your hardest. You're already successful.